So, after our last session, where you guys kind of convened or converged on the House Vamos safe location, holding a slave appraiser called Xavier Morrow, who, Eartha, you are planning to impersonate on this next leg of what you're doing, and destroying the location pretty thoroughly, thanks to Samura being a dragon for a minute there. You guys return to the Westlight Harbour in Westgate, looking for the schooner that your other allies were securing. So you've got, I think where we ended that last session, Anya had spotted Gray, who she was familiar with from before. And so you guys know where they are. You've got probably at this point in the day, it's probably let's say 3 or 4. So you've got you're expecting 3-ish hours before the Nymph's Bosom, which is the ship you're gonna be getting on. You've got 3-ish hours approximate to before that docks, but they Mumushi's probably told you in no uncertain terms that they're going to be leaving again the same night. So you've got about 3 hours to do any last minute preparations. So you're kind of standing on the dock. You know where your other allies are, should you wish to go and speak to them. You also have the mid-afternoon city at your disposal. What would you guys like to do?
Okay, so I've got 2 exhaustion points after using my dragon ability, and because my speed's halved, I'm just gonna let you guys know now. I'll do it in roleplay voice. I'm so tired. I guess it works out in our favor. If I act as a butler-esque, they can see I've been worked hard, like any slave would be.
True. It's fair enough. So are we clipping your wings still, or what?
Yeah. I think it would be a good idea.
I feel like if you keep them close to your body, you should be alright. But it's a risk either way.
I think if we clip them, then it makes us seem so much more legitimate.
Are you 100% sure you want to clip your wings, buddy?
It's for the best.
This is gonna hurt.
No. I'm gonna walk up to the wall and kind of...
You are still in a pretty public place, just so you're aware of that.
I need to
get... Which is fine, but it might draw some...
how do we... Is there an alleyway nearby where people won't be...
They have that little boat we could probably go on. See if there's...
Yeah, sure, there's... Both are options. There are some, you're in a city dock area. There are some kind of seedy back alleys fairly close by, but there's also the small boat that your allies have secured, whatever you prefer.
We may as well go at the boat. It seems like the safer option.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
So, I'll let Eartha do the talking.
Yeah, Anya can direct you there, so you fairly quickly make your way there. No one on the deck at the minute. They're all below, so you can go below if you want to speak to them, or you can find a private corner on the upper parts. What would you guys like to do?
I think going below because it just guarantees out of sight.
Sure.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you when you head below decks, you see them just kind of preparing down there. You see Mumushi in a conversation with Chuko, the cleric, and you see Gray just kind of sharpening some daggers and knives, getting ready for any kind of scrap. So you guys can do what you please.
I'm just gonna rock up to the first wall, just get it over and done with, and as if it's a police search in modern days. Legs shoulder width apart, arms forwards and straight against the wall. And just kind of spread my wings just straight back and out for easy access. Try and get them a bit together too, so he doesn't have to do it to each wing individually, but it just goes all at once.
So,
sure,
buddy, you have a choice. You can either have axe, sword, dagger. Can't use that one. Can't use that one. Can't use that one. Scimitar, just another sword, but you know, might be nice. Yeah, just an axe or a sword. Which one would you prefer? They're your wings.
You always know just what to say, Effa.
Gotta get you
Go
back
on.
at being a dragon.
Use the sword, it's sharper.
You would know swords are quite blunt, so you might want to use the dagger.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my axe
then
is
the
pretty sharp
dagger.
because I've just got the axe made.
You could use the axe. Just in terms of cutting, like axes are like chopping, so the axe will work, but it will hit. But
We'll go with dagger.
Samurai doesn't know anything.
We'll go with dagger.
Alright. Before I do this, I'm going to ask the DM. Is this going to be like a performance check? An attack roll? What we're talking?
You're gonna make a choice of survival or medicine check, and depending on how bad you roll, depends how much. No matter what, you can clip him, but depending on your roll, depends how much damage he takes from it.
I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and go, do you trust me?
And turn straight back to him, look him down the eye. Absolutely not.
Perfect. Turn around. And then I will... Cut him.
Survival or medicine.
I'm going to go survival.
Cool. Let's know what you get.
Never thought I'd be here.
No, you did. Last week.
Well,
Buddy, you are in so much luck. Because I rolled a 19, and I've got a +7. So...
26.
26.
26. Okay, roll 3d4.
This is where he rolls high for this as well, and it just didn't matter.
3,
Okay.
2,
5.
3.
That's 8. So,
Pretty much all your health.
well, I have 30 max health, so I'm on 22 now.
So you take 8 damage, and 4 of that you can. So for now, your maximum health has been lowered to 26
Okay, I'm just gonna put a /26.
until
until I
you get
fixed.
lesser restorations and they get fixed up.
Ooh.
So
Would mending
yeah,
work?
Samurai, make a Constitution saving throw.
Mending?
Absolutely not.
I don't have lesser restoration.
Pretty sure mending works on inanimate objects.
Yeah.
It's like Constitution didn't.
You are an
well
object.
done.
You are my slave.
That is a 12.
12. It hurts a lot,
Yeah.
and you scream and squawk and yell, and like for Anya and Eartha and for Sarah, it's just like a good few minutes of just like horrific screaming.
When you start screaming, can I cast silence on the area?
Sure.
Just because I don't. As soon as he like opens his mouth, I'm like, oh right, okay.
You start like as you keep cutting into his wings, you kind of hold him down with the other arm, and you still see like his eyes bulging and his beak flapping and his wings kind of not like through any want, just kind of flapping on occasion, kind of twitching. But you do 3 kind of mostly straight strikes down each wing that stop him from being able to take flight. You have clipped Samurai.
Ow.
Yeah. After you've got a war cleric and a bard with you, so I'll say through and Chuko is there, and she has a lot of herbal spiritual knowledge. So you would just actually from Chuko, you can take yourself back up to 26 health, and she doesn't heal the clipping, but she kind of gives you some ointments and the pain so it doesn't hurt. Just kind of like herbal painkillers.
I get back up to my max health, but it doesn't like
your
max
current
like
max.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about like Samurai isn't feeling that pain at the minute. It's completely numbed out.
Yeah. So we planned this last night, right? Just make it
Plan what?
like the clipping of Jackson. We planned it the night before. Or we
No,
spent.
we
I
planned
don't
it this
think
morning.
so.
We planned it in the morning.
Right. Okay. Are we
Yeah.
spending 24 hours on the boat before we take it over?
Yeah, we're spending a night on the boat.
Okay, just so I can... Just because currently I don't have lesser restoration.
Yeah.
However, I can swap it out when I sleep. So,
Well, I mean, I don't need it until after the boat fights occurred.
do you not want to do it just before, so then that way you have your wings?
I'm turning into a dragon.
Don't do that. Not on a boat. Not in the middle of nowhere. You will crush the boat and we will all drown.
No, because I'm gonna quite obviously jump off the boat and do it. And it's a big boat. A dragon isn't gonna sink a boat purely by its weight. This is a slaver's boat. It'll be big.
Do we know how big the boat is?
Make a intelligence check.
Can I make one too? Sunset.
You can all make intelligence checks with advantage because you all come from port cities, so I'll allow that.
Just a straight intelligence, or
With advantage, you all come from port cities,
Yeah.
so I'll
40.
that's a 17.
Allow it. 17 from Samurai.
I am friends with the port dragon.
14.
14. Anya?
Sorry, what was that?
Just roll intelligence with advantage.
So much noise in the background.
Ooh.
20.
20. Yeah, so Anya, being from Waterdeep, which is probably the biggest port city out of the three, yeah, definitely is. She kind of knows a ship of the description Mamushi's been giving you. Probably pretty big, probably more like a galleon. So, like, talking about like 50, 60 feet from tip to toe.
I make an
Probably like 2 or 3 decks.
Can I make an intelligence
Sure.
check to see whether or not I like if I think the dragon will weigh it down too much?
Sure.
I can't. Oh my god! Do I get advantage because I've turned into a dragon before and I kind of know my weight?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I rolled a 3 at first, and then luckily with the advantage I rolled a 1, so that's an 8.
You're not entirely sure. You remember being heavy. You don't think you are like, you weren't like a massive dragon. You were pretty big. You're not sure.
Right. Oh, I guess we just wait now, don't we? We've got really nothing to do, nothing to prep. Do we think our outfits are set out enough? Or do you?
I need
do
to
we
take
think we
my
should change
armor
it?
off.
Yeah, we just put it in the bag of holding.
Yeah. And what are you putting on, Bertha?
How long do we have before the ship gets here?
3
You got
hours.
about 2.5, 3 hours.
Can we go shopping for a suit? Because I've just remembered the last suit we had
That's
kind of
way
got
cool.
chewed
Lion.
by a lion.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's go get a suit.
And the suit before that,
Sure.
Samurai broke with his wings. So
You did do that. So we'll yeah, you guys can. Well, actually, I mean, you guys can all inform if you want, or Eartha, you can take the lead on what you want. Like we won't play through it. Just give us a description, and I'll check a price back at you. What Eartha you want your clothes to look like, and what your slaves are going to look like.
Samurai, pretty much what he's wearing, just a bit more dull, like Dobby's kind of clothes, like just a sack. But obviously enough for his wings. Don't want him too brightly, but don't want him too underdressed because he's a show-off slave. He's not like a hard worker. He's a show-off slave. Jess can be a bit nicer dressed because she's not really a slave. She's kind of been slightly promoted, but not too much. She's like I'm a slave, but I do good work. Like I write a lot of stuff down. I gotta look presentable. Jay can just stay the same. Me,
Sure.
I would just like a nice suit. 2-piece.
What color?
Black.
No, you gotta go white.
No, I'm not. I want to be like.
The Colonel's white, and everybody knows he's racist.
I would say, considering for the most part, Anya and Samura are sorted. You probably just get Samura kind of like a darker cloak, like a black shawl, brown shawl, something like that. And for Anya, maybe just like a different waistcoat. And then for you, obviously the suit. I'm gonna say it's pretty cheap, like 4 gold pieces, for the whole lot, and then you guys can outfit yourself as that. So the only thing you guys need to remember is until you put armor back on, or not for you, Samurai, but for you guys, your AC, so to hit you, is 10 for Anya and Eartha until you equip your armor again. Okay. What else? Is there anything else you guys like to do, or would you like to go back to the dock and wait for the nymph's bosom to shore up?
I think just more make sure that Jade's following my orders when we go to actually get on the boat, so then she doesn't constantly look at Samara.
I want to give
Sure.
Ellis my like over the shoulder satchel with the scrolls, because it doesn't make sense for Samara to have them as a slave. Like spell casting isn't like. It's going to be a bad idea, basically, for me to have them. So I'm going to give them to Eartha. You can put them under or over a suit, I guess. I guess it doesn't really matter. But it has 2 counter spell scrolls in it.
Sure. Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 1 counter spell scroll like in like one of my top pockets, and I'll put the others in the bag of holding for when Jackson
Sure.
puts his stuff back on.
Are you keeping the bag of holding on you, Eartha?
Yes.
Oh, and I'll give
And my sword.
Jess
Mhm.
my spell book.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So Samara, are you going to try and obviously probably putting your staff in the bag of holding?
Yeah.
Samara, would you like to try and conceal any kind of weapon, or are you good with like your talons and some of your spells?
I think I'm alright with my talons and my cantrips because I have a bit of everything in my cantrips. My cantrips are kind of my like a little bit of communication, a little bit of damage, a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Anya, in terms of Anya, do you have in your weapons box? What weapons does it say you have?
I have a rapier, a dagger, and a crossbow.
So, in terms of like out of those 3, plus your new baton and your violin, you'll probably have to stick your rapier, crossbow, and violin in the bag of holding. We don't need to write any of that down. Just you pretty much anything that's kind of big and suspicious goes in the bag of holding. But your baton and your dagger, you'll probably be able to hide on your person somewhere, so you'll have those ready to come out should you need them. Do you have anything else you want to add, Eartha?
Does anyone have a hair tie? Because I've realised having messy hair like mine is probably not a good idea, and I'm going to tie it back in a ponytail.
Anya probably has a.
No, I was going to say I don't have it written down anywhere, but I probably have.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Anya will give you.
Apart from that, I think
Maybe
I'm
she'll say
ready.
no.
Yeah.
Then I'll go
ready.
with messy hair.
So Anya flicks you a hair tie, and you kind of give it a quick, maybe sticking your hand in the salt water, giving it a quick run through, and tying it up at the back. So Eartha, you have your sword, you have the bag of holding, 1 counter spell scroll, nice new black suit, your hair tied up. Anya is wearing pretty much her normal clothes, but without her armoured kind of jerkin, and with a kind of a somewhat nice waistcoat. And she's concealing her baton and dagger. And Samura, you've replaced your kind of blue cloak and purple pants with kind of blacks and browns, and you've given up your staff in favour of your talons.
I'm keeping my gloves on, my black gloves.
Are they able to spell magic ones?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, so are you guys just lingering on the dock, waiting for the ship? Is there anything else you want to talk to any of your other allies are about, or are you pretty squared off with that?
Pretty happy. I mean,
Have we actually decided how we give them a signal of them to come aboard and like actually start conflict, or are they just planning on coming on and we join them when they do it?
They're just waiting. They're currently waiting for any signal. You haven't specified. You know, you could do a sending, or you could like light a signal fire if it's at night, or you could some kind of flare or some kind of beacon. You haven't discussed anything, so they're currently just like waiting for any kind of signal. But if you want to specify something, that might reduce the wait time.
I'm gonna firstly walk up to, I think Mamushi was his name, like the main one who kind of like brought us all together.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if you see a dragon on the ship, just know that that's me. Don't worry, I won't go for any of you.
He kind of just gives you a side look, and he's like, "Very good. Okay."
I didn't want to turn into a dragon and just have them bolt in the other direction.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, are you guys? Anything else you want to prep for?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Cool. So, an hour goes by, 2 hours go by, and then on that third hour, kind of as the sun is like really starting to set, just kind of more of like a black sky with a sliver of orange way off on the horizon. The Nymph's Bosom docks in Westlight Harbour. You see not a huge, massive crew, but a fairly big crew, probably somewhere between 15 and 25 deckhands, sailors, swashbucklers, that kind of thing. After about 10 minutes of being in port, you see a large plank kind of gangway come down, and one figure kind of stride off onto the dock. This is a pretty like barrel-chested, tall, burly man, but kind of wearing a bit of a hood and a bandana over a bandana scarf around his neck and over the bottom of his face a bit. He kind of pulls it down and pulls back the hood as he walks onto the dock. And from this distance, you can see he's kind of got a lot of his face is quite burned and badly damaged. And you see him discussing, you're not sure what, but you see him engaged in some kind of conversation with someone who was waiting near the end of the dock, a fire ganassi with a spear, who had kind of been waiting there, same as you, but closer to the ship. And so at the minute, you're kind of 30, 40 feet back. You see this main figure with the burned face talking with this fire ganassi, and kind of the deckhands kind of rushing about, getting some stuff off the ship, bringing other stuff on, getting ready to depart again pretty much immediately.
Do I see
Right,
them
Good,
just
yes.
moving?
Yeah, so Samurai, I heard Ellis's, but what was yours, Jackson?
I was gonna say, can I turn to the other two and say, is that Fire Genasi the one we saw? Oh, actually, I don't know if this was. Remember when we saw the fight?
technically,
We saw an Ed
yeah.
now.
Is it the one we
So
saw fighting in the
you saw the
Coliseum?
fire ganassi in the cancelled first session.
Yeah, right. Okay, just double checking.
So it a bit of a weird one. We'll say you've probably heard. You guys have spent some time at the Quivering Thumb. You have heard that there is a fire ganassi that does that it has a bit of a reputation at the Quivering Thumb. So you can link those if you like. But yeah, so Eartha, do you have to make any kind of check, or can you just read lips if you can see them?
As long as I understand the language, I can read them.
Cool. Then I won't say like exactly, but the gist of it is, this other fire ganassi is also joining the crew. You get the sense that the man with the burned face doesn't think she'll be necessary because they've never seen one before, and she is just kind of like, she's just like, look, I just go where I get paid to go. And he's just kind of like prodding at her and being like, oh, well, after, whatever. And after about, a 2-minute exchange, she wanders up, and not all the way up, she just wanders a bit past him and kind of sits on a crate, still very much like within earshot, but this other guy with the burnt face kind of like leans back and just, begins waiting for something.
Right, come on, let's go. Stay close. Not too close, because you're slaves, but close enough to make you look like slaves. And I'm going to I'm going to stand up, dust my suit off, start wandering over.
Cool. Yeah, how far behind are Anya and Samura following?
Just like 2 foot behind. I feel like it's far enough behind that like if I stretched my arm out fully, I'd be able to touch his shoulder, but I'd have to fully stretch my arm out forwards. Type of thing.
Sure. Yeah, so you guys wander down the dock, and Eartha, with your brand new suit on, this guy kind of eyes you up. He doesn't say anything, but as you approach him, you're pretty sure he knows. He has an idea of who you are, but he doesn't say the first word. He just kind of has one eye lingering on you.
I'm gonna walk up, just look him up and down. You the captain?
Yeah? You Xavier?
Might be. Are you sure you're the captain?
Positive, mate. Are you sure you're Xavier?
Last time I checked, I was.
Brilliant. And we could get away from this hellhole. Who are these 3? And is that your bird?
Yes. I like to show off a few things I've collected. He's my show-off slave, Got to say.
I meant the one. I meant the other one.
Ah, the Bloodhawk. Yes.
Yeah.
He is mine. Keeps an eye out for me.
I was told one man will be joining us. It's a fairly big party you're bringing.
And I was told that as well, until a dragon attacked earlier this morning. I don't feel very safe. Also, the lady next to me, she always comes with me. She writes down everything, just to make sure I don't miss anything, so when in future deals people can't, cross over and change prices last minute.
Make a deception check with advantage.
Where did I put my cards there? Ooh. Okay. 16.
Okay. He's silent for a few beats. What are your names?
This one is Anya. The bird, Samara. The other bird is Newt. Not that you'll need to know because you won't talk. And the big chunk of armor, just call it Jade.
Colourful bunch, right? Get on the ship. We want to be away within the hour.
Can I make it so I'm walking up, and because I'm so exhausted, I'm a little tired, and Jade being behind everyone pushes me as if like a disrespectful, like get you moving.
Sure.
Yeah.
While you're all doing that, could you all make a perception check?
I'm just really trying to sell it. Am I using my eyes?
Yes.
It doesn't matter, because it's a nat 20. 26.
Buddy, I got the same, but I don't want to add it up. But I got a natural 20.
Isn't
Over
it like
30.
39?
What did you get?
4.
Can't win all the time. So, Anya, you're kind of focusing more on trying to sell this, like, slave receptionist act, so you're not really paying attention to what's going on outside of you guys. But Samura and Eartha, you notice that this fire genasi is kind of throwing you a side eye and kind of smiling, and she seems like you kind of, as you walk onto the gangplank and up onto the ship, you kind of walk past her, and she kind of scoffs as she kind of looks at you, Eartha, and she kind of shakes her head.
Can I help?
the captain kind of brushes past you and walks up the ship or up the gangplank, and the fire genasi stands up, and she gets like very close to you. She has like dark red skin, almost elf-like pointed ears, but not comically pointed, just kind of almost pointed. And her hair is kind of short cut but ginger, and kind of also it sometimes kind of seems to move like flame, and you can almost like it definitely looks like ginger hair at the sides, but as it goes up, it begins to. You're not sure if it actually becomes flame or if it's just some sort of trick of the light. She kind of gets very close to your face. No, but I've worked with Xavier quite a few times, so I'll see you on board. And she kind of claps you on the shoulder and walks onto the ship.
Shit.
I've got obviously a robe on, haven't I? Like a black robe.
Yeah.
Message requires me to actually let me just double check here because
I think it's just point. Yeah. I think it's point
it
and
is.
wire or whatever.
I just want to make sure it's not a somatic spell.
So hear me out. What about the spell command and the word forget?
Well,
Dangerous
message
break.
requires a verbal component, so I can't do it. Unless actually, is there anyone around me?
I think that's the message.
Yeah, because it says I whisper a message. Is anybody near enough for me for whispering?
No, I'll say you can. This would be pretty easy to get away with right now.
Right, I'll just kind of point my finger, trying to like hide it in my robe, at her and message and just say, "We don't want any trouble. Just trying to free some slaves."
She kind of stops at the top of the gangplank and turns around to look at the four of you midway up, and she just kind of shoots you a wink and walks kind of across the threshold.
Can I quickly try and point another message or not?
You can't see her, so no, not until you
Okay.
get on the ship.
All right,
So, how much do you reckon we'll have to pay her to keep quiet?
that's what I was about to say.
Because currently we have
Money.
10 grand.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to pay her 10 grand.
I don't think you have to pay that.
I hope not.
So, you guys board the ship, and again, so on the top deck, you see, probably like, including the captain and the fire ganassi, you see like about 10 to 12 people kind of jotting around, doing various bits and pieces. The fire ganassi is just kind of, she's went to like the front of the ship, the point, and she's just kind of leaning against the side, kind of waiting to set sail, kind of just toying with her spear and kind of checking her crossbow. And the captain is up at the wheel, kind of barking a few last orders, trying to get the ship out of dock as quickly as possible. So yeah, is there anything you would like to do before setting sail?
Where we need to find your quarters, really.
Yeah. Well, I'll...
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we don't need to role play any of that too much, but yeah, you have a, it's not like super cozy, but you have a kind of in the group sleeping areas downstairs. So there's basically just like several bunk rooms of like 4 beds. That you were staying in a room with 3 other crewmen, but the captain's kind of thrown them out so your slaves can. Actually, no, he would. You're staying in a room with 3 other crewmen, 2 bunk beds, and your slaves will go in the slave pen at night. You haven't seen the slave pen yet. If you want to go and look for it, you can, but the captain will just kind of tell you that your slaves will join the other slaves at night.
That's fine.
I want to make sure I get that bird back. Alright, he was pricey.
Where'd you find them?
Oh, what's the island called?
Oh.
Can I do a history check to see if I remember the name of the island?
Sure.
Because, what was it called? I'm Jerry,
What? You can't remember where Samura's actually from?
yeah.
Said Schult.
I know, but I couldn't. I remember it, but I was like, well, I don't remember it.
Yeah,
History.
I guess.
21.
21. He's from a peninsula called Chult.
Schult. He was, well, they're in tribes a lot of the time. I just got lucky, found him on his own. Just snagged him whilst I had the chance.
Well, he's probably the most expensive whipback we've had on this ship, so good find.
Thank you. And don't worry about him trying to fly away.
And he'll
Wings are useless. Clipped him. Just to
Clipped
make
him?
sure.
brutal but effective.
Gotta make sure he
Done
can't
the
get away.
same many times. Of course. You'll find your room downstairs. It's the empty one.
Thank you.
So yeah, what would you guys like to do? Or would you like to start generalizing what's happening?
Yeah, there's nothing specific I want to do. I think it's just kind of watch and observe for the minute.
Yeah.
Cool. So Westgate, along with the memories of the last kind of 10 day or so, shrink into a small point in the distance as the nymph's bosom pushes into the night. So, kind of the first phase of this, you're going to want to wait at least like 24 hours until you try and pull anything too major, just so House Vamos can't send like reinforcements, like magically or otherwise, to your location. So you want to give it a fair bit of time. The whole journey from Westgate to Marzember should take about 5 days. So you've got a bit of working room depending on what you want to do. Just so you get a good layout of a good understanding. The next day, that night actually, one of the crewmen will take Anya and Samura to the slave pen, and it's kind of just like the ship is 2 large floors, and kind of the front half of the bottom floor just kind of has a big iron bar cage wall, and just like the front half of that floor is just a slave pen, and it's not super big. And it definitely shouldn't be used to fit 100 people, but there are definitely like 100 or so slaves just like completely jammed in there. And this guy kind of just, this crewman just kind of opens the door a sliver and pushes Samura and Anya in there. And all these people are like, starving, not doing super well. They can't even like carry enough food on the ship to feed them all reasonably. So yeah, if you guys want to do anything, in the slave pen, you can just shout it out, otherwise I'll move on. But the next morning, the captain would bring you, Xavier or Eartha, to the slave pen, where you'd see the same thing, and he'd take out Anya and Samura and give them back to you for the daytime. But you'd see this large slave pen with about 100 slaves of all different, races, genders, specializations, all just kind of piled in here. So you do kind of catch a glimpse. Actually, make a perception check, Eartha.
I got 13 plus 4, 32.
32. You kind of, when Anya and Samura are being returned to you, you kind of try and take note of the mechanisms in the lock, and you're gonna like keep an eye out for if you see the key. And later that day, you see the key on the captain's belt. So the captain, if you want to like unlock the door, you could get the key from the captain, and otherwise, you could bash through it or magically get through it. You could try it that way. But the captain has the key to the slave pen on him. Yeah. Other than that, what else? What else would you like to do? So the only other thing you have to do pretty much is wait till at least tonight when you're out in open water. Yeah, we'll pick up here. So just to outline, kind of save time. We don't need to roleplay every little bit. You want to wait probably till at least tonight. If you want to do it during the nighttime, if you want to whatever you are going to do, you can either do that tonight if you want to do during the nighttime, or you can do tomorrow or tomorrow night, or you've got a few days. But the quicker the better. But you don't want to leave it the whole 5 days. But you've got a fair amount of wiggle room there. The only things you need to do are you need to get the slaves free somehow, and you need to signal your allies on the other ship. So you just need to wait, signal, and free the slaves. But you can kind of do that in your own way. So so Eartha, what were you doing? What did you want to do?
I would like to go talk to the Fire Genasi.
Sure. So after you kind of been showed around the slave pen, and kind of asked to give like some kind of like you were just basically asked to look over the slaves, just shown the slaves, so you know what you are. You knew what you basically a slave appraiser would be kind of handling the sale of these slaves when they get to their destination. So just kind of showing you what the livestock is. But as you go back out onto the deck, now you're out at like open water, and you are in like a smaller inland ocean on the Dragonmere, in between the Dragon Coast and Cormier. But you can't see land. And it's a pretty clear day. There are a few clouds kind of on the horizons, but for the most part, it's a pretty blue sky day and fairly hot. And you see the Fire Genasi where you'd last seen her the day before, kind of just leaning against the side rail of near the front.
I would like to walk up to her and go, "Don't think I got your name yesterday."
She kind of lets the question or the statement sit for a minute. Sashara, pleasure.
Shashara, it's nice to meet you. It's a bit of a difficult situation you've put me in here. Alright? Gonna be honest.
I'm sure.
So I'm willing to make a deal. If you're willing to listen.
I'm very willing to listen. Please, go on. And she starts kind of cleaning the inside of her crossbow while she listens.
So I know you've been paid to be on this ship. I'm not sure why you've been paid to be on this ship. I would like to know if that's alright.
Well, it's sort of the tradition on ships that sail the Sea of Fallen Stars that there be at least one Kraken hunter on board, just in case.
Ah, Kraken hunter. So what's your thoughts on slavery?
Suppose I'm not a fan.
Perfect. Getting a bit better. I'm liking where this is going.
I feel this has been an entertaining 5 minutes, but when I said I've worked with Xavier before, it was not friendly. I will not stand in the way of whatever you're doing here. I've already been paid, so do what you will. In fact, you need not even, if you're planning on sinking this ship, I'm more likely to align myself with you and your presumable allies you have dressed as slaves.
Well, wasn't planning on sinking it. Just planning on taking it over, letting the people free. But if sinking it comes to sinking it, then so be it. But I don't have a way of getting back to dry land. However, I was going to come pay you to be on our side. Just as reassurance.
I'll take it.
What's your going rate?
Well, because I already said I would work for free, I'll take 100 gold pieces.
Done deal. And I'll put my hand out to like shake hers.
Very good. Well, you can count on me whenever you... And she kind of waits a minute while the deckhand kind of goes off in the other direction. What exactly are you planning on doing?
Just taking over the ship. Fine details aren't exactly our strong suit.
There are 4 of you, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Your confidence is admirable, I suppose. Well, if you can give me some sort of forewarning before you do whatever you are going to do, then that would be great. But if not, you have my spear, I suppose.
Because it's daytime right now, are me and Jess technically with Urfa?
You can be.
Yeah, just because then...
You don't
it's
have,
not-
during the day, you don't have to be together, but you can be if you like.
I'll be with him. I'm not going to say anything, just so then Samara now has it in his head to just quickly cast Ascending before shit kicks down.
To her.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to say to her, Urfa?
I will just double check no one's around, and then go, my name's Eartha, as a real name, rather than, Xavier.
She lifts a hand and she clicks and she goes, that makes sense. You're the one that fought the lion. Yes, I've heard no end about the boy who fought the lion. Well, at least you've made a name for yourself, I suppose. Fair. Xavier.
Thank you.
She kind of does a comical, saving face. Yes, I've heard. I was in a match the day after you. Yes, you are making quite the... And I mean this morning, before I got here. So, you're making quite the reputation, by the way I heard. Or at least based on what Lars said. I didn't see your fight.
Don't blame me, it wasn't that exciting, but...
Cool guy, he brushes it under the rug.
Brushes it under the rug, 'cause it's not business.
Cool.
It's not business.
I'm sure we've all fought worse than lions.
I'm gonna sit and pause for a minute and think, what is the worst thing I've fought? And just shake my head.
Fought a dragon.
I didn't really fight it though, did we? We kind of ran away.
Anyways.
Do you say that, or is that...
No,
I'm not opening my mouth.
no, I won't say anything about what the worst thing is I fought, 'cause I don't actually know what the worst thing would be.
Sure. She just kind of watches you thinking.
Oh well. Thank you for helping, and I'll pay you when I can.
Quite alright.
Well, actually,
course.
when would you want the money?
Boats only go in one direction, so I suppose whenever we get to where this one's going.
Fair enough. I'll give you...
Where... She kind of raises her hand. When you take over this ship, where is it going?
Probably the nearest port to where we are. I'm not 100% sure where that's going to be.
Suppose that makes sense. Well, very good. Like I said, you have my spear. When whatever happens, happens.
Thank you. And
Very good.
I'll walk away.
Cool. So, what else would you guys like to do?
I would like to go to a quiet area and ask them, what are we going to do? We're here, we're on the ship, we didn't actually plan anything after being on the ship.
Yeah, but...
When we,
This is what I said. I said if we've got a game plan.
I've got a
The
game
answer was
plan.
no.
And you guys are like, we'll just wing it.
I've got a game
That's
plan.
how they like it.
Right.
Go on, Jackson.
I'm just going to say this is Jackson because it's quicker and easier. So, we wait until tomorrow morning because then I can get another rest in and I've got no exhaustion points.
But you can't fly.
That doesn't matter. That means I don't have disadvantage on ability checks anymore because I don't want that. Then, in the morning, I cast Sending to Mamushi and them to basically try and come towards the ship and come aboard. Then, first of all, I'm gonna cast Sending then to Fire Genasi Woman, because I've already forgot her name, to say there's a ship approaching, they're with us, shit's gonna go down soon. And then basically I want to wait for the Mamushi and them to get as close as possible, but obviously if this boat's gonna start shooting fire, we just go, we just kill, we just start. And if we need a big distraction, dragon time.
Yeah. The trade-off with the signal is, yeah, you already said this, but just so it's clear, if you do it at night, you can do some sort of like physical signal that doesn't burn a spell slot. Like lighting a signal fire or something like that. But if you do it during the day, you're going to have to do something like send a spell, something like that.
What if we do it the night before and say, oh, we're going to do it in the morning? So
Yeah,
that way, it's just, we get the rest, we get the spell slots back, we kick it off.
Yeah.
Also, question. Because we've been observing the ship, do we know how many guards there are that are, like, with weapons?
Total on the ship, you would know that there is 20 crewmen and 100, including that does include Sashara. So including people who would probably be hostile to you. It's the captain plus 18 crewmen, and then there's 100 slaves below decks.
Do they all carry weapons?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'll all like sword.
Yeah, they're all armed to some extent. Most of it's clubs, axes, daggers, scimitars, stuff like that.
I was kind of hoping it'd be in one singular room, but alright.
No.
So I was gonna walk in with the bag of
Guys are
holding
pretty
and
much pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna quickly say I'm gonna cast the sendings to both of them on the night before, so I get my spell slots back. But I'm going to. Well, I'll do it now once we're in this small room and no one can. I presume we're in a private area.
You can be, sure.
Yeah, I'll do it now to both Mamushi and her, but I'll tell them midday. And I'll tell her that Mamushi and them are coming on the boat for midday. Just so we have enough time to guarantee that me and Jess are out of the slaving cage.
How visible is Jackson's clipped wings?
When his wings are coiled up, not really visible at all, but when he spreads his wings, quite visible.
Right. Don't spread your wings, buddy, till the morning, because I'm gonna lesser restoration your wings now at night. So then I get that spell slot back, and I'm gonna swap it out for something else. All right.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna swap that out.
Okay. So, I mean, this is probably mostly up to you, Eartha, but what route are you going for freeing the slaves? Are you trying to steal the key off the captain and sneakily free this, unlock there's usually one or two guards in front of the slave pen, so are you going to try and stealthily do that and keep it quiet and then launch an assault, or are you going to launch an assault on the captain, head on, take the key, or are you just not going to do anything with the key? Are you just going to use magic or lock picking to free the slave?
How many guards did you say are usually there?
Below decks with the slave pen, it's usually about 2.
Perfect. I have this sleep amulet.
You have to get the key firstly.
No, don't worry. Put them to sleep. I'll take their throats whilst they sleep. The same thing we did with the other guards.
Cool. Do you want to do that now?
Let me double check some. What's that?
So, but are you doing this the next morning, before midday? What's the time frame on this?
This I'm going to do early morning before we start the attack.
Cool.
Let me just check something. before I do that, I want to see if there's a.
So like.
Was he froze?
He's froze and Jackson's disappeared.
The actual day rolls around.
I'm
What?
here. Sorry.
Brad, you're gonna have to repeat.
Yeah,
that.
and he had his headphones on.
Oh,
No,
he's
I mean,
back.
Brad, you're gonna have
I'm
to repeat that. You froze completely.
Yeah, everyone froze for me. Am I working okay now, or do I need to go back to my 4G?
You're good.
So during the night, kind of a bit of rain begins to fall, kind of quite different from the sun yesterday. And as it gets to day, the rain doesn't let up too much. The sky isn't so bad as to what you couldn't tell when it's midday, so your plan still stands. Everyone involved should be able to know when the sun is at its zenith. But there's still quite a heavy shower falling on the second day. So yeah, there's a lot of rain, a bit of extra noise to kind of hide some of your sneaking as well. So what would you like to do? So probably Samura and Anya are still in the slave pen. Early second morning, if you're waking up in your room, probably with one other guy in there. The other two are probably do it in shifts. So the other two are out on their shifts. So what would you like to do if when you wake up that second morning?
I would like to go into where the slaves are kept and see what guards are there. And I'm gonna check. Well, I'm assuming those two will be in there as well. But I would like to check how many guards are there.
So we'll unpause here. So if you wake up that second morning, we'll say at the minute, Anya and Samura are still in the slave pen. But what would you like to do?
I'd like to walk in and see how many guards there are first. Yeah,
At the slave pen?
Yeah.
There are currently 2.
Right. I'm gonna walk in and start inspecting the slaves.
Sure. So, knowing who you are, one of the guards will let you in. A lot of these slaves, some of them kind of shoot you like hateful glares, but for the most part, a lot of them are just too weak. And there's barely any walking room in here. Half the time, you're like stepping in very small spaces in between people. And you eventually see Anya and Samura kind of probably closer at the front. Like I said, very big mixture. If you wanted to look for any one kind of person in here, you probably could find something fairly close. It's a fairly random assortment of peoples.
Did they let me in the actual cage?
Yeah, you're the slave appraiser, so you're allowed in.
That means they have a key.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it so much easier. I would then like to walk out, kind of dust myself off. Cast sleep.
Sure.
I need to sleep amulet on them.
Yeah, roll it.
That is 5d8. Starting good with an 8. 5.
13.
5.
18.
6.
24.
7.
31.
So 5.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
31 health.
How much is it total, sorry?
31.
31. Yeah, okay. Both of them go down.
Can I try and catch one before it goes down to try and stop the FUD?
You'd still be in the cage at this point.
Fair enough.
But, with the rain and everything, you think no one upstairs should be able to hear it just because the bit of the storm brewing.
Yeah.
I would then like to go and take the key off one of them, whichever one has the key.
Sure. Yeah, you pick that up. You unlock the cage door.
Yeah.
You see, like a lot of people still aren't looking at you, but a lot are. Like there are a few now near the front that are like kind of giving you like a confused look, but no one's saying anything or getting up. They're still kind of either malnourished or scared. You're not sure.
I'm then just gonna go.
You see a few people glance back down.
I'm gonna pass the key to the closest person to the door, and just kind of
Sure,
give him like a wink, and then
sure, they kind of take it and shove it in their clothes.
And then like to walk up to the guards, slip their throats.
Sure. As you're doing this,
Just to
you
be
kind of feel.
as before like the blood starts like pasting on the floor, I like to sling him into the bag of holding.
Sure. As you're kind of doing this, you can feel the sea outside getting a bit choppier. Like this rogue wave kind of jostles the ship, and you don't fall over by any means. It's nothing like that. But you lose your footing for a second. Almost like you just kind of like stumble as you're doing this, and the ship kind of visibly like sways because of the movement, and you just kind of lose yourself for a minute. As you're doing that, but yeah, you get them in the bag of holding without, no one comes down or anything like that.
Right, I mean, we're out the cage then, aren't we?
You can be if you like.
Yeah, I mean, I'll bustle my way up to the front and grab the key off whoever's got it and open the door and walk out and then go, Eartha, bag of holding. I know you like them, but more men, more weapons. And think about his weapon collection.
I'm gonna look very dissatisfied, and I'll be like,
Make a perception check, all three of you.
I don't think these people are gonna be fighters, Jack. So I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know, but bodies still take damage where we don't. With my eyes, it's a 25.
Not with your eyes.
35.
Is then a 22.
22, what was yours, Eartha?
35.
35, and Anya?
10.
10. So Anya, you see people reacting, but you can't quite hear it. But Samara and Eartha, you hear you hear increased movement, like footsteps up above, and you hear a bell ringing. You hear a ding, 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 ding,
The Kraken today.
Oh,
resounding from above.
this is gonna be so much fun. Great. I'm gonna look to the slaves and go, stay here.
Yeah, you hear the bell ringing above you, increased movement, and you kind of signal the prisoners in some kind of way. I would like to, so it is fairly early doors still, so it's nowhere near noon.
Yeah. I mean, we go upstairs, don't we? Go to the...
Oh,
Yeah.
what if this is Mamushi?
Then we start fighting.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right, we head up.
So if you leading, you kind of burst through the kind of large trapdoor-esque thing in the center of the ship that leads you up onto the top deck. And as you guys all kind of emerge into the heavy rain, kind of slicking the deck, you see the quickened movements of everyone around you, kind of all not paying you attention. Like you stumble back as someone not paying attention to you at all rushes past you. Could everyone make a perception check? This one is on site.
14.
30.
14, 30. Anya?
5.
5. Not having a good night.
I didn't say 30.
No, I'm not.
I said 30. 30.
I know.
I thought you said 13. I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't. So
I
now you get 13.
physically can't get 13.
So Anya and Samura, you guys are looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. And Eartha, you kind of look over to the east, and you see the schooner, the ship Mumushi and everyone had secured. You see it racing towards you. This ship racing towards you, but not skimming over the water surface like a ship would. You see it hurtling through the air towards you. This gigantic ship, just like a shooting star, arcing up into the sky and heading straight towards the nymph's bosom, heading straight towards you all. And yeah,
how long have we got until we think it's gonna hit? I know I haven't seen it yet, but
like 15 seconds tops.
Yeah.
And it arcs up.
Do you want your stuff out the bag of holding?
I want to know it's there. Is what I want to know.
Oh.
So, just for keeping track of things, could you all roll initiative?
I believe I've got a +4. Yeah, 16.
Natural 20. For once, an initiative.
And Anya, what did you get?
24.
Ooh. What was your total, Alex? Was it just 20?
I don't have a plus.
Ah.
That's why I was so happy.
I never technically got rid of Abba in his spider form on
No,
Earth.
he died.
Oh, he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. Cool. Never mind.
No
He
worries.
got squished.
So, Anya, starting off with you, there's no kind of fight yet, but now that it's been kind of pointed out, you kind of turn to see what Eartha's looking at, and you see this ship, gigantic ship, flying towards you in the air, kind of cutting through the rain and the storm, and arcing towards you. What would you like to do? There's not really much to do, but so we can move on if you like, but if there's anything specific you'd like to do to prepare, you can just shout it out. In fact, for this preparation phase, so it's not too much pressure on Jess either, just all three of you, is there anything you'd like to do in like the next 10 seconds before this ship crosses into you?
Can I metagame and ask for these two's opinion on an idea?
Sure.
What happens if I turn into a dragon and try and catch it to make sure that our friends don't die?
Their ship's flying, they'll be fine.
Yeah, but if it hits our ship, we
fine.
won't be fine.
We will be fine. Don't worry, they've planned it.
And the slaves will drown.
The job was to free the slaves. If they drown, that's their fault. We freed them.
Right.
We have freed
Cool.
them.
Right, okay.
That's not true at all, but...
His new
I'm
nickname is
gonna mage
Flames.
armor first.
You need all your stuff. I mean, I won't be able to put armor on in 10 seconds, but...
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get everything out the bag of holding, and you can choose to dump the bag of holding. I'll allow that. Like, you can... Otherwise, I'll say you can each get one thing out.
I'm gonna quickly just double check if mage armor is a bonus action first.
I can get something else out for someone else, because the only thing I need is armor, but I will be fine not to have that.
I'll get my... I only need my book off Jess. It's not like going into something. What is that counting? Is that a bonus action or an action or...
We're not
It's still
strictly
next.
there yet, so I'll just say that's kind of a free one.
Okay, right. And then, as long as I've got my book, I'm just gonna mage armor to make sure I've got my 17 AC.
Sure. Jess, were you going to say something? Was there anything you wanted?
I'll probably get my rapier sword out of the bag of holding and just have it at the ready.
You want
Sure,
your
yeah.
violin or anything? And I can pass that out, because I'm not getting anything.
I mean, you might as well if you're not getting anything else out. So, sure, you Anya dives for her rapier, and Eartha, you soon after hand over the violin as well. So, Anya, you have your violin, your rapier, your dagger, and the baton. Samara, you have your spellbook, and Eartha, you have flame tongue. So, yeah, besides from that, could you all make dexterity saving throws?
Okay.
Shit.
What did you get, Samara?
What do you think, man?
Natural one, really?
Yeah, every time.
That's really rough. Eartha?
11.
11. And Anya?
25.
Well, Anya's going to be okay. So that's
I'm
good.
fine, guys.
I have enough now, I've got my wing.
I didn't get any of that.
I got my wings back in there, so
Again, once more.
wings.
You have your wings, yes.
Wing. Ellis, you're gonna get a translate because I'm not getting any of this.
Oh, I didn't get any of that. I just heard of wings, and I'm assuming he was asking, I have my wings back.
Let's give it a minute. Let's let it sort itself out. Say something, Jackson. Nope.
Alice, phone.
I heard Ellis.
Phone. Alice.
Oh.
Ellis phone.
Oh, Ellis.
Oh, he's
phone.
he's texting it.
That's
Got
fine.
my
This is
wings,
good.
so 30 health. Is his health back to 30? Like his max health?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
because you would have cast Lesser Restoration, you would have healed him as well. So yeah.
Lesser Restoration isn't actually heal.
Then never mind.
But he will get healed from sleeping.
Long
'Cause I did it
rest.
the night before.
Sure. Yes.
Oh, there we go. It's back.
Cool. So.
So me and Jackson failed. So we're probably both
Okay.
dead.
So Jackson takes double damage. So you all take different amounts of damage. That's the first time that's happened. So, Eartha, you take 13 damage, which means Samura takes 26, and
I didn't heal.
Anya, yeah, and Anya takes 7.
I'm on the floor crying in pain.
So basically, this ship that you had previously been on in harbour hurtles through the air and smashes into / on top of the nymph's bosom, and for a moment the nymph's bosom like presses right down into the ocean with the extra weight before it bobs back up. It's not like, it didn't sink, but it's like a heavy amount of damage. Water is seeping in to the hull, and the other ship is pretty badly damaged. You can see a lot of damage. It's been picked up by something, and you can see the effects of that on, like, the mast is snapped. It's not currently attached to the ship. You've got no idea where it is, somewhere floating out in the ocean. So the ship comes crashing in, and Samura, it just like, you're kind of just like paralyzed in fear as it comes heading right towards you, and you don't get hit by the actual ship, but just like some of the impact tremors of the ships colliding. You kind of get sent flying back, and you smack the back of your head on the railing and you like start picking yourself back up. Eartha, you get kind of hit by a few rogue planks flying off and take a fair amount of damage. But Anya, you manage to kind of shelter behind some crates and withstand most of the damage. But now that this initial act of aggression has went past, you can see the responsible culprit kind of rising out of the water on the group chat if you want to have a look. There we go. And just for like size reference, you see this mighty. And actually, could you all make nature checks?
6.
6, Samura?
That is it's a 16 plus. That is a 21.
21, and Anya?
13.
13. So, Anya and Eartha, that you guys don't know this, but Samura, Krakens are red/pink/brown. You've never heard of a blue Kraken before, but this is very clearly a Kraken, just based on reputation and appearance. The first word that bumps around your brain, you said it below decks, was Kraken, and now you're looking at this hulking, primordial abomination that's bursting out of the water, and its tentacles are kind of rising out of the water, surrounding the ship. You get the sense that this thing underneath the water is 10 times as massive as what you're seeing from its main body mass. But yeah, it's blue, which is unusual. You haven't heard of that.
Can I make another intelligence or some sort of nature check to see if I think krakens and dragon turtles have a major feud?
Sure. Make a. I think it would be fair to give you advantage since you know a dragon turtle, so you can make a.
Nat 20.
Intelligence check. Okay, well.
I'm glad I'm wasting my nat 20s now.
I'm just pulling up the exact information to give you.
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask that because I didn't think my character would know, and then I was like, oh, I know Armag, the dragon turtle of Chult, so...
Yeah, it's not so much like... So like chromatic dragons and metallic dragons, or like all dragons and giants, they have like a hatred of each other. With krakens and dragon turtles, it's not so much like a hatred because of like what they are. It's more like because they're both pretty much the two top dogs of under the sea. Like they get into like territorial disputes a lot, so they do get into beef.
And do I know of? There's been no way I know of a dragon turtle nearby. That will not help. Never mind.
Yeah, you actually, you know what? Make a not strictly on that, but make a intelligence check with disadvantage.
Okay, I got another nat 20, so I'm really loving life. But I also got an 11, so that's 16.
16. Yeah, so currently, if you look at the map, you're in a portion of the inland ocean called the Dragon Mere, which is like almost like an incredibly large oceanic lake, and it's even smaller than the actual inland ocean, the Sea of Fallen Stars. There is like a underwater kingdom of like mermaids and merfolk in the Sea of Fallen Stars called Ceros, but you don't really know anything about the Dragonmere. You're not nothing from any of your pretty short tutelage is it doesn't strictly relate to this part of the world, so not a whole lot is coming up in your brain.
One last question.
Go for it.
Do I know of any abilities a dragon turtle has? Because I know dragons have spells. Do I know of any dragon turtle abilities which allow them to speak to other dragon turtles?
Beyond, like, speech?
Yeah, like something where they could do it over, like, half the world? Like, ascending type of thing they have, or something like that?
Yeah. The most magical thing a dragon turtle has is its breath weapon, which is steam breath.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any kind of communicative magic or anything like that.
Just so you guys can know, because I feel like you'll be pretty impressed with how far I've stretched this. I was gonna text Armag, be like, "Hey, do you know the dragon turtle near me right now? I could use some help with a kraken."
You can text him, but he can't text anyone else.
Yeah, I'll not text him.
Let him sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready.
Can I do an intelligence check to see what language a kraken speaks?
Sure.
I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, you. I'd make a history check as well.
No point.
No worries.
That's a natural.
Other than that, we'll break into the initiative. Oh god. So it was just that. So the next one is Samura.
Right, I will. I mean, it's here now, so I guess it's time to start launching shit. I am going to cast Cure Wounds because I got 3 scrolls out of the Wizard Tower, and I specifically chose 3 healing spells because I knew my teammates don't enjoy healing people.
No, just don't enjoy healing you.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself as my action. So
Sure.
it's 1d8 plus my spell casting, which I got at 2, so this is going fan-dabby-tastic. So that's 10 in total. I heal 10. And I'm gonna try and move away from people, so if it attacks 1 point, like just try and spread out, basically.
Yeah, sure. Very good. And yeah, you done it. Yeah, so I'm just quickly running through other people on the ship. Yep. Yep. Okay, Anya, what would you like to do?
I could use more healing if you have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I'll
you're
do
not
that.
getting that.
Sure. What spell would you like to use, Anya?
I'll use. I totally forgot what my spells are for a second. I'll use Healing Word.
Sure. Roll that up and let Jackson know whatever that is. And
So underprepared.
there's not a whole lot you can do. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Aether and his whole range is going to be useful.
Hey, I have ranged spells.
Yeah, right.
So what's the healing on that, Anya?
11.
Banging. That's
so-
fantastic.
Jot that. Okay, Aether, your turn.
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at 3rd level. Actually,
Go for it.
is he within 120 feet?
Yeah, technically he's like 40 feet from me.
Oh, well then that's fine. Yeah, I'll cast Guiding Bolt at 3rd level. Does
Sure.
Let me maths it out here.
Probably then.
Does a 25 hit?
It does.
Great. Jackson, buddy, I need you to count
Yep.
66 for me.
66, yeah, cool, I can do that.
Shit.
Dropped it already.
5.
Cool, 5,
5.
10,
6.
16,
2.
18,
6.
24.
This is the last one.
Yeah.
6.
30.
Nice.
30, sure. So you aim a finger gun at the Kraken, I'm guessing, and loose a guiding bolt, and you see it does hit, but it's almost just like it's like shooting a flare into like a nimbus cloud. You know, like you just see it like scorch along the side and fade.
Whoever hit attacks it next gets advantage.
Very good.
Up until
Very good.
well, I think. Hang on, let me double check, but I believe it's everyone up until my next turn.
Sure.
But I don't know. It says and the next attack roll made against this target before
Just the
end
next
of-
one, though.
Yeah. So, the next one before my turn gets advantage.
Good. Keep that in mind.
So that's not me, unfortunately.
So next, you see the storm intensify as a barrage of lightning bolts strike the ocean and the ship. Could you each make a dexterity saving throw?
Some sort of fucking. Oh my god! I'm gonna shoot myself!
It's a rough luck, buddy.
Well, it's a good thing I've still got
Aether?
Revivify. I got 60.
16, Samara, natural one, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And Anya,
23.
23. Anya's gonna be fine.
Buddy, you were dead.
I know, because I have less health than last time. If it does the exact same damage, I'm at -1.
Hang on, let me just check how to use Revivify.
You need a diamond.
I have 3, don't worry.
So, sorry, Aether, what did you get again?
16.
And what did you get, Anya?
23.
The DC is 23, so 23 is what you had to get to take half damage. So
Right,
that's a good roll.
Can we just say this now? Any dexterity that's above 20, just say to me no point. Because I'm not going to pass it.
Yeah.
Okay, but
You can't.
I physically can't. At one point, I couldn't even physically get 20, so
that means Anya, you take 11 damage. If you take 22, Samurai, you take 44 lightning damage as
Which is
the lightning
ironic.
tears through the nymph's bosom and exposing parts of it to the ocean as
sorry,
cold water begins to fill in.
What was that I got for damage?
22.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
I so nearly got one shot.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I can bring you back, buddy. We have
Not for my ash.
We have
from
two-
a pile of ash.
well, actually, I say we have 2 attempts. We have 1 attempt to bring you back because I only have 1 third level spell slot left. Probably should have saved it.
Samurai, I guess, make a death saving throw.
Don't add anything, do it. It's just if it's over 10.
Yeah, just like flipping a coin.
Just like out of curiosity or anything. It's not like I've rolled it. What happens if it is 10?
1 to 10. So 10 is 10 would be a fail, right? Because it would be 11 to 20 is a success, right?
Yeah, sounds right.
So-
Same amount.
So cool. So you just check a little fail off on there. Don't even worry about it.
I'll Google it while we're playing just to check.
I have another
Sure.
question for you, Jackson, whilst you're Googling. Because you know
Yeah.
you're good with magic. If I want to cast 2 spells at once, one of them has to be a cantrip, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
It doesn't. Either the bonus action or the action, it doesn't matter which one, but one of them does.
Shit.
Anya, it's your turn. What would you like to do? So you see Samurai just get completely fried by a bolt of lightning. You manage to kind of dodge out of the way for the most part of an arc that kind of blew past you, but you just see Samurai just get almost turned to dust as this lightning just completely strikes him down. Yeah, so probably the anxiety and panic of imminent death is setting in at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Healing Word again. Yeah, I'll cast Healing Word again.
Go for it.
While she's rolling that, I'll just say I googled it. It's a DC save of 10, so technically 10's a pass. The same way as like if it's a 23 for the Kraken, it would be a 23's a pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I passed.
Sure.
Got 9.
9. So that doesn't bring you back up, does it?
No, not even halfway.
So, but because of what it is, I'll say it does remove a failed death saving throw as well.
But I passed it with a 10, so I don't have one.
Well, how? Because 1 to 10 would be fail, 11 to
I
20 is
I googled it, and apparently it counts the same way. Do you know if you make a saving throw and you have to match the
Oh,
thing?
so it's slightly... Okay.
So
I
matching
see.
a 10 it still is a success.
I
So we
see,
just
okay.
matched it with a 23 on the Kraken save.
Then you just, you're a little bit closer to being, it's kind of like pushing on someone's chest. She's giving you the Heimlich maneuver.
Bonus
so...
action.
Say again?
I've got a bonus action.
Yep, what would you like to do?
Can I cast Dissonant Whispers on the...
Is it a cantrip?
Oh, hang on, I can't remember. It's
What
not.
about is Healing Word a cantrip?
No.
Don't think so. Yeah, so if you want to cast 2 spells, it's a bit weird. If you want to cast them on the same turn, one has to be a cantrip and one has to be... Is that what you said, Jackson?
One has to be a cantrip, the other one can be just any spell.
Okay, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that until he just said it, so...
I guess I'll cast Vicious Mockery instead then, because that is a cantrip.
Sure, go for it.
Won't do as much damage, but
Doesn't matter, every little helps. This thing needs every little bit.
Yeah.
it's
If-
literally like
If
a
you're
1d4.
maybe the
It's
words you
just-
say to it will tell it to leave.
Yeah,
So
you might upset his feelings. You never know. You might just be like, I don't want to be. I can't take this verbal abuse today, and he just leaves.
just tell it to
Going
fuck off.
home.
Tell it to fuck off. There you go.
So it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 1d4 psychic damage. I've disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Okay, it got 16 on its wisdom saving throw. What's your spell save DC?
15.
This thing's big.
Oh wait,
You're just
no,
like
sorry, 16.
It still
16.
passes.
So
I
it
couldn't-
does pass. So the magic, you're essentially just screaming at this thing, and you're trying to weave magic into the words, but in your frustration, like you're on your knees, like trying to breathe life back into Samara, and like in between that, you're like looking up and just like screaming at this thing, and you're trying to weave the magic into your words, but just in your frustration, in the rain, in the in the face of imminent death, you can't quite focus as you're more focused on keeping Samara alive. But good turn. Aether, it's your turn.
Buddy, I hope you're happy for this. I'm about to play a healer. I'm going to run up to the fallen bird, cast Spare the Dying, which puts him to 0, but doesn't bring him back. I'm then going to cast Action Surge as my bonus action. Give me an additional action. I'm then going to cast Cure Wounds to bring him back.
The Spare the Dying cantrip?
Yes.
That's sick. I didn't know.
I
that.
also don't know how that works with Action Surge. I don't know if you're allowed to just
because
cast two normal spells.
it just gives you an extra action.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
I'm on about with the spells thing. Just in general.
Well,
As long as it's still a cantrip and a different spell, I'll allow it.
my only problem was they
Yeah.
were both actions. So I was like, well, I don't want to waste Action Surge yet, but I kind of need Jackson back. So,
Yeah, cheers.
I'll allow it.
tell you what, Jackson, I'll be nicer. I'll cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level rather than 1st.
Hang on.
Yeah.
What's my health? At least they higher than 44.
16.
It's over half of my health, so I'll take it. I'm gonna turn into a dragon.
I really wish I had my armor at the moment. This
You could take the time, to be honest.
I can't take the time because this thing's gonna throw.
Also, I
something
mean,
else
it's
and
not-
destroy the ship.
It's not doing anything, which is like it's not hitting anyone, like per se.
Mhm.
Like
Buddy,
not
you've been
physically.
hit twice.
Yeah, but not physically.
The boat was pretty physical.
Okay, yeah, but what about it hitting a person, not throwing? Nothing armor
I mean,
wise
it did just summon lightning onto you guys.
But like
It's
that was all like
attacking.
dexterity saves. None of
It's-
it's been
it's
like
attacking.
ACs. So you're all right for now.
Have you healed Samurai? Has that been done?
Yeah, I'm on 6.
Okay, well then, at the end of Aether's turn, this thing's going to burn one of its legendary actions to summon. Sorry.
So do you know how we said we were to fight an ancient dragon, and that we were like, no, probably not a good idea. I'm starting to think the same about a kraken.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Kraken's harder than Ancient Dragon.
I think it might be.
It depends on which dragon, I believe.
I still think this is harder.
Because I'm pretty sure Krakens are like somewhere between 16 and 20, and I'm pretty sure like Ancient Reds are like 24.
Aether, can you make a strength saving throw?
It's one thing I'm good at. Is it over 20 that I have to pass?
I don't want to say.
Well, natural 20 puts me at 24. I'm hoping that's enough. If not, I'll see you guys later because he is launching me.
Okay, the DC was 18. So, Aether, as you kind of cast these spells and you grab Samura with one arm and you pull him back up to his feet, you feel this small tentacle wrap around your lower leg, and you feel it tighten in a moment and begin to jerk you backwards and try to pull you. And just like with one giant swing of your sword, you cut it free, and the end of this tentacle just untangles from your leg and falls to the deck beneath you. Cool. But now it's the Kraken's actual turn. Let's do lightning storm again.
No, let's not do that because
It's not enough.
I don't make the
natural
rules.
one.
Everyone do dexterity saving throw.
Ah!
what's the point? I can't.
Alice can't make it.
I can't
To be
pass
fair,
it.
Alice,
take-
if you
Well,
fail
he can
too
because he can
bad.
take double damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joke's on you. I got a 7.
Well, I
Yeah,
got a
that's
19, so for once I don't take double, but I still go down most likely.
And Anya?
22.
Wait, Jackson. it
22.
was-
Oh, Anya so nearly got it.
We all take full damage. Great.
Okay,
We're all
so
dying.
each of you take 19
Well,
lightning
Jackson's
damage.
Bye, Jackson.
Back to dead.
I'm getting close to death.
Just say 19.
Yeah. What are you on, Anya?
Oh, hang on, I haven't worked out yet. I'm not a mathematician. I'm
What's your
stupid.
number?
Well, it was 37.
So you're on
Oh.
2 of 28. You're on 18.
Oh, okay. Thank
Yeah, just like Chester. This is what Jackson gets for not taking 2 levels. He's 2 levels of health behind.
I'm starting to get worried now.
I'm on
If you can get me
38.
alive, if you can get me alive for my turn, which is impossible because the Kraken goes before me, I could just turn into a dragon. That'll be fine. But like, we gotta get there.
We just gotta fuck
Oh my
when you
god!
alive.
I've been using. I completely missed its multi-attack. My bad. No, I like it. Doesn't get a lightning storm as part of the multi-attack, and I like the lightning storm.
I don't. I
Yeah.
really
Okay,
don't.
fine. Next turn, I won't use a lightning storm.
And I'm pretty sure there's like 20 crew members, so maybe it like couldn't hit us for a little while.
Yeah, Anya.
You know my cutting words? Can I only
Yep.
use that on myself, or am I able to use that on other people?
I don't
It's
think you can use it on yourself because it does damage, doesn't it?
But it's like it's a
No.
reaction, so when somebody attacks
Yeah.
her, she can use it as a reaction.
So I can't use it on other people, just myself.
I think
No.
I'm pretty sure there's a no, because so it does damage. So you would never do damage to yourself, but it's
No,
a
but it's
reaction. So
It's only when somebody attacks her. Is
Yeah.
what she means. It's not when somebody attacks anybody else. So it's
isn't
a
a reaction just at the end of someone else's turn? I thought that's
But
what it
no,
is.
but
So-
the spell is when she is attacked, she can use cutting words to lower
I
it
see.
or the
Okay.
damage. But it doesn't work when they attack someone else. It only works when they attack her.
But I'm sure the
This-
spell
this is-
specifies that it can use
this-
it on an ally.
Well, this
Not
is the description. It says when a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes an
There you
attack roll, an ability check, or a damage roll, you can use your reaction to expend one of your uses of bardic inspiration. So
So
if-
yeah, whenever you see that, oh yeah, it's not a spell; it's an ability. So yeah,
So if
whenever
I see it happen to someone else, can I use it, or is it only if I see it happen to me?
it's just what it says. Whenever you see that happen to you or to someone else, you can just say, "Oh, I use cutting words." So that it'll never happen on your turn because it's only when other things are happening. But like,
Oh,
if it's happening, just shout out
Yeah, I
like,
didn't think of
"Wait,
that.
stop! I'm using cutting words." Just
Yeah.
like because I might just keep going, but just get my attention. Be like, "Shut up! I'm using
Okay.
cutting words."
Question.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I have
Hands
another-
up.
I have another question.
Yeah, I thought it was a spell, but I got confused. What were you saying, Nitha?
Where's the Kraken Hunter?
Yeah, you see, she's at the front of the ship, firing crossbow bolts.
Is she doing any? Like, is her stuff working?
I mean, she's shooting at it and she's hitting, but it doesn't look like it's particularly giving him much of a shit.
Has she ever killed a Kraken before?
You didn't
You
ask.
don't know.
That's a fair point. It's a very fair point.
Next up is Samura. I think you're down.
Yeah, he's on minus
Death
3.
saving throw.
Yes, that's what I wanted. A fail.
Nice. Good for you, bud.
Reverse psychology, is that how it's gonna work?
I actually want to die.
It's not
Anya,
a joke
it's your
anymore.
turn.
I think, actually, I'm thinking about this. If I'm downed, it automatically crits me. So, that'll insta-kill me because it'll take me past minus 30. So, you guys have to heal me or I die.
So
Your
I
choice.
can. When I revivify someone, does that? How much health do they get back?
Go on, Jess.
away is the creature?
Like 40
Say again?
feet, I believe.
How far
Yeah.
away is the creature?
Yeah, 40 feet-ish.
40 feet. Okay, that's fine.
Go, Jackson, I've got you.
No, you don't. I keep dying.
And I'll keep bringing you back.
I have died more times than all of you guys combined. I've probably died more times than enemies we've killed.
Yeah.
Anya, what would you like to do?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Can I cast Phantasmal Force?
Sure.
And did Jackson say that? Well, obviously they're not afraid of it, but it's something that if they're within the same territory, that they get into a scrap.
Yeah, the dragon turtles.
I'm gonna create a Phantasmal Force of a dragon turtle, to appear in front of the Kraken. So between the ship and between the Kraken, like just in front of the Kraken.
Yeah. Really
Alright.
good play. Yeah, it's a really good idea, but it's immune to being frightened. So, but it's a really good idea.
Might still be distracted.
But yeah, in this thing's mind's eye, it sees and it has true sight. But it was a good idea.
See, I haven't played D&D before, so I didn't know.
No,
that
yeah,
they were
Anya
immune
would.
to being
This
frightened.
thing is beyond. This thing is just like the dragon. This is beyond you guys. You guys shouldn't be going toe to toe with this.
Yeah.
If there's everything all right.
We have a very special scroll,
Oh,
and this
Yeah,
might
monster.
be the time to use it.
dominate monster.
Dominate.
This, but I need to ask a question.
Mhm.
Is this a
Mhm.
monster?
Anything is a monster. Yeah, monster is a general
Perfect.
term for any creature.
That is perfect.
Do you have a +8, Ellis? Because you really should have it on a +8.
I have a +8,
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
but I'm gonna take a risk.
It's going to take a legendary action just in between
I'm
Anya and
not gonna
Irtha's
take a
turn.
risk. Sorry, Jackson. I was gonna do something, but it doesn't matter because I might not be here in a second. I might be somewhere 20 miles as I get launched or something.
Yeah.
With its tentacle, it has a +17 to hit. Isn't that funny?
Oh my god, so unless it rolls a nat 1, it can't fail.
Well, Irtha has a fucking 10 AC.
Yeah.
But natural
No,
one
so-
hurts itself.
If
Hey,
it rolls
Irtha.
the...
Does 24 hit? Yeah. Cool. Let me just roll the damage on it, and you're also grappled after this.
Sorry, buddy. I'm not gonna be able to help you at all.
Yeah. Also, I forgot about Jade this entire time.
Oh yeah.
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 No,
We'll
like,
say
she can't really do much.
she's below
She's got
deck,
6...
I think.
Yeah, below deck. I've just rolled a d20. Do you want me to just say that's our initiative?
What is it?
So it's 11.
There we go. Irtha take 14 damage as
Hang
a
on.
tentacle. Oh, this is it.
This
Go
is
on.
it.
Please, I need this.
Wait.
Right. Do you want it taken away from the damage roll or the?
Damage.
Yeah,
Damage.
because you
Damage.
physically can't help the attack roll.
No,
Okay.
but if it's not from the damage, I'm physically dead.
Yeah.
So I need to roll a bardic inspiration die, which I've complete. Oh, 1d8. Right. Give me 2 seconds.
Could this keep you alive, Ellis?
As long as it's 2 or above.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
I can use one of my inspirations if it fails.
I feel like we're meant to die. This is what it feels like.
Right, I'll use an inspiration.
Oh no.
Okay, is 6 good?
6 is perfect. 6
Okay.
is absolutely perfect. That
Got
is
4 health.
Perfect.
so
Okay.
More than me.
13.
Irtha, as you cling on to life, as this tentacle bashes you, it then wraps around your foot. It slithers onto the deck and smashes you, and then wraps around you. So you are restrained. So now it is.
My God.
Yes. So you can make a strength. Is it? Sorry, 2 seconds.
Technically, while you're restrained, you could still attack it, but you'd have disadvantage.
What if I just inflict wounds it? Because I've got to touch it to cast inflict wounds. If I cast inflict wounds, it might let go.
Probably not.
Would it do that? Out of pure curiosity, if I cast inflict wounds, would it be like, oh no, not holding on to this, or will it still hold on to me?
It might.
Your attack rolls also have disadvantage, but I feel like inflict wounds, yeah, you can't really miss that, can you?
Not really, no. Gonna cast inflict wounds.
Go for it.
Do I need to roll an attack if I'm literally being grappled by it and I'm probably touching it anyway?
Just in case you get in that one.
That's a fair point. Well, that's a 19 plus 8, so a 27.
Yep, you hit. Roll damage on it.
3d10 necrotic. 7. 10. 10. 7, 10, 10. Oh, 27.
27. Okay. Eartha, you hear echoing in your mind in a what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Jacentic, Dwarvish, Elvish, Draconic.
Yeah. As you kind of get grappled up, like you're being grabbed by an anaconda, you kind of manage with one awkward hand movement just to grab onto with your palm, grab onto the tentacle and cast inflict wounds. You hear in this language you don't understand this Dustaro, this kind of curse in some language you're not familiar with, telepathically communicated to you. Yeah. So now it's the Kraken's
turn. Does it let go? Does it let go?
No.
Can I use a bonus action?
Sure.
Second wind.
Sure.
I just want to get some health back. I forgot how much. If I
Sure.
I think it's 1d10 plus my fighter level. I can't remember.
So now it's going to use its multi-attack, and it's going to use its first one to fling. So
see you later, guys.
So it is going to throw you 60 feet, Eartha. Okay, you take 6 damage.
Oh, that's good. I'm still in the positives.
So, Samura, you are out on the crumbling deck of the nymph's bosom. Eartha, you've been wrapped up by one of this thing's tentacles and hurled out into the open water, where you crash into the water surface. Now it's going to use its last 2 bits of multi-attack. It is just going to try and hit you twice, Anya.
No!
They're both over 30 to hit.
No!
3, 6, 9.
You're winning. I don't know.
I think that's the point.
I think we're probably meant to run away.
I don't think we're meant to win, but also we're not sailing the ship, so we have no way of getting away.
You do have magic keys that take you back to an inn. Anya, 34 damage.
I'm nowhere near a door.
Ellis has all the keys.
Died!
No, I gave each
Yep.
of you a key.
This is the first time I've ever died.
Blame
Good for
Jack.
you!
Good for me! What an achievement! Hang
I've
on.
died a
Anya.
lot.
So how do I do this? Do I write minus whatever, or...?
Yeah.
Yeah, just minus to wherever you went to.
So 34, did you say?
Yeah. As 2 of these colossal tentacles just smash into you on the surface of... Anya, as you kind of stagger back on one leg, you look down and you see, like, the rain falling heavy on you. You see Samura's corpse kind of barely hanging on the deck of the ship, and you kind of make your way to stumble towards him. And in that moment, you see Eartha get grabbed by this thing and flung way out into the ocean, and you see him kind of flying away. And in fear, you take a step back, and two of these tentacles rise up from the water surface in front of you, and just in a moment, everything goes black. Eartha, how much health are you on?
10.
So,
No.
Anya, after a deathly struggle to stay alive becomes you, your eyes flitting open and shut, your beaten body spasming and jerking. You feel yourself fail and give up to the dark and the cold. Samura, a familiar voice rises from within you, perhaps real from that otherworldly source, or false from the collapsing synapses in your dying mind. But the cold and dark consume you before you understand their meaning. And Eartha, now from way, way out, as you crash into the water and you sink 10, 15 feet down, and your eyes bolt open again, and you begin swimming back to the water surface. Even in that time, the shifting nature of the ocean, you're not just 60 feet out anymore, you're more 80, 90 feet out. You're somewhat near the splintered mast of the schooner, and you manage to grab onto it, floating on, and you can see off in the distance. You can see this blue monstrosity, Titan, completely wailing on the nymph's bosom and destroying it. And you can see barely any movement on the surface of it. In fact, make a perception check.
30.
You see the lumps of Anya and Samura collapsed on the deck. What would you like to do?
Fuck me.
You're getting emotional. This is so sad.
I've got nothing to. What's
I
the
don't-
range
I
of
don't-
dominate monster?
You want me to
You're 100 feet now, as the mast
dominate
sails from the wake of
monster.
the destruction.
Oh, fuck off, Google. Dominant monster 60 feet. Yeah, you can't do that.
And I can't swim close enough. I can swim 30 feet.
110 feet.
No, the worst part is I've got an idea, but I just can't say anything.
I'm going to pray to my god while starting to swim back towards the ship.
Sure. You let go of the mast, and you begin a desperate paddle towards the destruction of the nymph's bosom and the kraken that is tearing it into pieces. As you get closer and closer, now 70 feet, you see tentacles completely engrossing the ship and beginning to break it down and pull it underneath the water's surface. 60 feet,
Dominate monster.
50 feet. Go for it.
You attempt to. Oh wait, how do I use a spell higher than me? Jackson, you have
You
to.
have to.
It has a chance of failing, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
I believe. Okay, you're gonna roll a d20. I know that much. So, let's have a look. If you want to cast Finger of Death, but I'm all
Hang on, wait. It's not immune to being charmed, is it?
Maybe.
You don't know.
This could be a waste of it, but oh well, worth a try. Before I do it though, I'm going to pray to my god and say like, this, please let this work. This is. Yeah, I'm basically just going to be like, it needs to work. If it doesn't, we're screwed.
I can't find it, unfortunately. I think the rules were, if it's higher level, then you can cast, it is 10, like the DC is 10, plus the spell's level, which in this case would be 18, and you just roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier. I believe, because I can't find it online.
Right, well, I rolled it, and I got a natural 20. But then I realized that doesn't mean shit, because it just means it succeeded in actually being able to be used. The creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or be charmed for the duration.
And is it against your DC?
I'm assuming.
Actually, don't tell me. I'll roll it first.
Yeah, the DC is 10 plus the spell's level.
DC's 10 plus the spell's level. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
so if you roll the 20, it has worked so far.
Oh, alright, that's okay.
Wisdom saving throw, did you say?
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it's against my spell save DC.
Yeah,
So there's a plus 11.
Oh, well, that's not looking good for us.
Yeah. Plus 11 is 14, so technically it works.
It works.
Tell us about what you'd like to do with it. As you begin this desperate paddle back, you get within 60 feet, and now, it's becoming, there's less of a ship you're going towards and just series of floating bits that once belonged to either ship, and you manage to pull yourself up onto some bit of debris, and you start rifling through the bag of holding down on one knee, and you find the scroll of Dominate Monster.
I will cast it, and then you have telepathic link with it as long as you two are on the same plane of existence. You can use this telepathic link to issue commands to the creature while you are conscious. No action required. Which it does to the best to obey. You can specify a simple and general course of action, such as attack that creature, run over there, fetch that object. If the creature completes the order and doesn't receive further instructions from you, it defends and preserves itself to the best of its ability. You can use your action to take a total and precise control of the target until the end of your next turn. The creature takes only the actions you choose and doesn't do anything you don't allow it to do. During this time, you can also cause the creature to use a reaction, but this requires you to use your own reaction as well. Each time the target takes damage, it makes a wisdom saving throw. So basically, I own this creature until someone hurts it, and it has to keep making saves, but I'm just going to command it to leave. Well, I look after it for up to 8 hours.
No,
sure, but you just want it to keep going as well.
An hour, my bad. I just want it to leave.
Yeah. And you're going to use your action to take total control, so it can't do anything but that.
Yes.
You dive. Your hands dive into you take the bag of holding off. You smash it down onto this makeshift raft that you're on. You're on your hands and knees. You're rifling through it. You accidentally touch the bleeding neck of one of the guards from inside, but you find the scroll. You pull it out. You rip the wax seal off, and you feel power course through. This spell is beyond you. It's far more powerful than anything you're meant to be casting. And you feel like your blood begin to boil, your mouth dry, your eyes dry. It's too much. But you steel yourself and you feel a divine eye on you. You feel a strong hand guiding you. And you take a deep swallow and you begin reading the text. And you do all those things. You follow the steps of the spell begin to make themselves clear in your mind as though someone is guiding you. You say the words, you do the motions, and as you finish the spell, the scroll disintegrates into ash in your hands and flies off into the wind and into the water. As you, what do you say? What words do you say?
Leave and don't turn back.
The colossal destruction in front of you, the tentacles dragging what remains of the ships down into the deep, stops. The lightning and the thunder become less raucous. And this thing's beady, gigantic yellow eyes kind of turn around fully to be focused on you. Its giant red tongue falling out of its jawed mouth. This giant, gargantuan blue creature. You've seen gargantuan creatures before, the ancient dragon you'd come toe-to-toe with, but this thing is bigger by a vast amount. And in some tongue you don't understand again. As the tentacles begin to trail back from the carcasses of the ships and debris and trail down into the ocean. And after a few moments, does it specify whether it needs to be able to understand you?
It's a telepathic link, so as long as you don't issue commands to the creature whilst you are conscious, it does.
Does it say?
No, doesn't
Sure.
say.
And after what feels like an eternity, but in reality maybe probably less than a minute of staring between the two of you, almost like a whale, it kind of falls to one side as it plunges back into the depths. And for the next minute, the ocean is very rough as, you know, the waves kind of stir everything around you from the movement of such a huge thing. And the storm then after begins to dilute, and the sky doesn't become clear, but it becomes cloudy, and the rain stops, and the thunder stops, and the lightning stops.
We make a death save and throw at this point. It's been a
I
while.
was about to cast
Yeah.
the die on both of you.
You have no idea where they are.
I was going to say, can I look for them then?
Sure, but yeah, both of you make death saving throws. Good call,
Right,
Jeff.
17, so I've passed one. So I'm
17.
1 for 1.
And Anya?
You just roll the 20 and don't add anything.
Oh, right, okay. I was rolling the wrong one. 18.
So that's a pass. So, Eartha, you're alone on this raft. No scroll of Dominate monster. You pick up the bag of holding and put it back on you as you sit alone on the calming ocean amidst a field of dead bodies. 100 or more that pepper the from here to all around you. You see bodies further out from all the disturbance. There is basically nothing that looks like a ship here anymore. Most of it's been dragged down underwater, but there are bits of debris, bits of jagged wood sticking out of the surface of the water, but just bodies upon bodies all around you.
What about Jade? Do I see Jade anywhere?
Make a perception check.
Hey, Jade was in sight, so I know she's dead.
26. Not 20. Yeah, 26.
Nope.
Do I see Samurai Anya?
Make a perception check.
30.
30. You stand now on this raft. Desperation setting in. Anya and Samurai make another death saving throw. Glancing around rapidly, looking for fail. And Anya?
Got 17.
It's a pass.
17. Success. Looking around, desperation really setting in. You see Anya bobbing 60 feet away.
I would like to swim over to her and then try swim back to the raft I was on.
Sure. You take a timid step into the water and then plunge and start swimming, darting between bits of debris to keep yourself afloat, and in between the corpses, the field of corpses, going underneath some, going around some, pushing some out the way. You find Anya and you kind of loop her arm around one side of you, and you begin to climb up onto some debris where you lay her down. When you'd found her, she'd been face down in the water, so she's not. You find her pulse. She's still alive, but she's cold, and she's got a lot of water bouncing around inside.
Spare the die. So she stabilizes but doesn't come like conscious.
Sure. You spare the dying, giving your ritual rite onto her, and you see the salt water spew out of her mouth. She doesn't wake up, but she's no longer in imminent danger. Besides from that.
So I want to look for Samuro again now that I'm in a slightly different area.
Samura, make a death saving throw. Aether, make a perception check.
35.
What'd you get?
You're dead.
Yeah, I'm dead. 3 fails.
Shit, I need to find him within a minute. So I can cast
Have you even got a 3rd level spell slot?
I have 1. Because I saved it just in case.
What did you get in your perception check, Aether?
35.
35. You see, close to 100 feet away from you, a dark shape. You think it's that you don't see the colors of Samura's wings anywhere. You don't see the color of his plumage, of his feathers, but you see what you think might be the dark cloak you bought just before you left shore, and then in the other direction, you see what you could also make out to be that cloak. Which one would you like to go towards?
Is it left or right?
Sure, for the sake of this, we'll say left or right, just so we can differentiate. Let me work out which one's which, actually, just so it's fair. So it's fair. Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
Tails is right.
Left.
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 You plunge back into the water, and knowing that time is passing and passing and passing, you desperately try to get towards this shape. And you do. You swim 100 feet out, desperately darting. You don't even start swimming at first. You start jumping in between bits of debris until you eventually can't do that anymore. And you take a full plunge into the water and begin swimming towards the shape. Kind of in like almost like a death mask. You know when like they cover a dead person with a bit of fabric? Like just this wet bit of black cloth that's covering this figure. And you get to that shape. What would you like to do?
Is it feathery?
You begin pulling the cloak, trying to get it off, and it's wet and heavy and sticking to what's beneath. And you eventually do pull it off, and you see the colourful plumage of Samura, not breathing, not moving.
I want to pull one of the rubies I got out of the bag quickly and cast Revivify. It's instantaneous.
Okay.
And if it does work, he will be brought back to life with 1 hit point. Which means I can then go back to Jess and fix Jess.
Requires a diamond worth 300 gold pieces.
I have 2.
You just said ruby.
I'm at, what have I written down? I've written something down. 2 diamonds, 2 times diamonds, 4 Revivify only is what it's.
I think, yeah, I remember you buying them.
Also, Revivify does consume it, never mind.
It does. That's why I've got 2.
Yeah.
Hoping that Samura hasn't been dead longer than a minute, you begin clawing through the bag of holding, getting frustrated, you slam it onto the water surface, kind of resting it on just a corpse's back so you can really dive your arm into it, and you find kind of the pointed shape of a diamond's arc, and you pull it out, and you begin the verbal components, you begin the chanting, you kind of rest your hand on a part of Samura, and you begin crunching your hand around the diamond, which then fades and cracks in your hand, and as it cracks and you clump down on it, it begins to turn into dust, which fades away. Samura's head bursts out of the bottom of the water and flips around, alive, on 1 hit point.
Because
think.
I'm
Yeah.
because I'm not an owl. Because I know I'm gonna go off human birds. Like,
Sure.
birds in real life. Birds in real life can fly when wet. It's only owls who can't. So can I fly?
You can try.
I'm gonna try and get to a piece of wood firstly, so I'm not trying to fly straight out the water, and then I'm gonna try and get into the air a bit.
Sure. So, Aether, praying that the spell is going to take hold, you see as Samara just begins rapid movement and tears away from your grasp, and begins clawing his way up onto the nearest bit of like floating debris at hand, completely tearing away from you. And he starts like climbing up a bit of mast and bursts into the sky, his wings flapping desperately as he does begin to fly up and into the air.
Yeah, and I want to make a perception check for both Newt and Jade.
Go on.
I was hoping you'd
Presumably
do
it's
it.
using sight. Am I doing one for each, or is it just one roll for both?
Just do one.
That's 21.
21. You don't see Jade. You do see birds, but you think Jade is a suit of armor, so like, but also doesn't need oxygen. So you like, even if she did sink, you're not super worried. But Newt had a much better chance of being able to get out. You do see birds on the horizon, and now that this kind of cataclysm has come to an end, you see they're starting to kind of come back in on the area, and like they've been avoiding the area, but now they're kind of beginning to fill back in. You think if Newt is in the area, we'll return soon enough.
I'm gonna cast Locate Object on Jade.
Sure.
So if she's within 1,000 feet, I should know where she is.
Jess, how much are you in minus?
Minus
Spare
60.
the dying.
Minus 16.
Didn't you spare the dying? Doesn't she go to 0?
Yeah, oh yeah, doesn't matter. Right. Whilst this is going on, I would like to make my way back to Anya and cast Cure Wounds on her to bring
Sure.
her back conscious.
So yeah, kind of Anya lying on her back on the bit of debris that you'd found. You kind of lift the back of her head, like you're on your knees next to her, and you lift the back of her head into the cradle of your arm as you begin casting Cure Wounds. And Anya, your eyes kind of flutter awake again, and you see Eartha has picked you back up.
You're on 15.
But yeah, you didn't all the way die. You are very close to full death, but you didn't all the way die. But you feel that's the closest you've ever come. You feel the fear and the cold from that still clinging on to you. And Samara, yeah, I'm trying to work out how. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, you're kind of getting used to it. I'm trying to work out in my head how deep I think this bit of the ocean is. I don't think you'd be able to sense Jade, but I feel comfortable saying you're pretty sure she's probably on the ocean bed beneath you.
Technically, I have control of Jade, so I could tell her to go in a direction. I don't know where that's gonna end her up.
Yeah, it's also early morning, so you can't even the closest thing you have to being able to work out the direction is the sun, and even that, because it's kind of getting to noon, it's kind of 50-50.
Yeah.
You could turn Abbott or whatever into a goldfish or some form of fish and send it down to have a look.
So
Man has
actually,
ideas. What are you saying, Anya?
We've got Candle of the Deep as well, just in case that would be
That's true.
any.
Yeah, Anya's got the water candle.
Oh, I need to know about the range of this though. When your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. Additionally, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes. So the second it goes out of 100 feet, bit of an issue, but it doesn't die. Yeah, it doesn't say. Finally, feel like it. yeah, it doesn't say it goes away when it hits 100 feet. So I'm gonna land next to them two, and I'm gonna make. Trying to think what's the animal least likely to die here. A seahorse can't actually swim, so that's useless. Fish, it's a quipper, so it'll just die. I'm gonna go with an octopus.
Okay. If you want, you can give the octopus the candle with one of its tentacles, but it's up to you.
I will. Does the candle? I feel like Jade could most likely activate the candle.
Candle's always activated.
Well, you don't need to activate it. Yeah, it's just an undying flame.
Okay. Right, yeah, I'll give the octopus the candle then, and I'm gonna send the octopus to find Jade, and then. I'm gonna send the octopus to swim straight down, and if it can see Jade, swim straight up. And I'm gonna keep flying over the water and not standing on the raft to make sure I don't move, because the raft will be moving.
What were you saying?
Well, I was gonna say, as long as he's within 30 feet for 10 minutes, I was gonna cast Prayer of Healing on all of us.
Yeah, I can just fly near you.
So we'll end this chapter on this kind of scene of two things. We'll end it. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
My AirPod died. So as Aether, you begin casting this prayer of healing to restore everyone. On the distance, on the horizon, in the distance, you see a ship sailing towards you, and painted on the sail is, and this ship is huge, bigger than the one you are just on. Aether, make an intelligence check.
It's gonna be fucking pirates. 26.
26. This is a navy ship. This is a military. And painted on the sail, you see in profile, a blue dragon. That sail is sailing. Doesn't look maybe straight for you, but there is a commotion in this area visible. You think once it sees kind of the area, it will head towards you, but you can try and signal it if you like. And with that, we'll end the chapter.